Something big. We're gonna destroy the whole room? We have to replace the gym.
This story a happy ending.
If you must blink.
Let my levels pass! It's never gonna work. Hold on to your butts. We're gonna stop this thing, bada bing, bada boom. Forget I said boom.
Do you know who?
I'm looking for my family.
Are you crazy? It's too dangerous! Hands!
Hands? Mommy?
Holy Neptune!
That is definitely not Mommy! I'm sorry, I gotta blink. How do you hold your eyes open that long?
Well guys, I finally got to experience my most anticipated movie this summer, Finding Dory in 3D. I will get, whether the 3D is worth it or not, I will get to that after I finish reviewing the movie. I'm sorry, my dog's in the background. Yeah. Anyways, I did get a few movie passes, so I'm quite excited about that. Anyways, Finding Dory. Finding Dory takes place after the events of Finding Nemo, a year after Finding Nemo, and it is the sequel to Finding Nemo 2. And basically what happens in this movie is, you know, Marlin, Nemo, and Dory, they're basically kind of a family already. Not in that kind of way, but they're basically family now. And Dory, she starts receiving flashbacks from her childhood, and she remembered that she lost her family, so basically she goes on a adventure to go find her family and basically bring them back. And that's where she actually gets lost looking for her parents, and she teams up basically with, she makes a deal with a octopus named Hank to help Dory find her parents. And along the way you find a lot more friends of Dory. For example, this shark whale named Destiny, and she's a big help to this movie too. And what can I say about Finding Dory? The animation is top notch in this movie. The animation's fantastic. It looks so realistic. If you look back to Pixar's Big Dinosaur, where backgrounds looked really nice and realistic, that's basically Finding Dory. And the animation, you could easily tell that the animation got better from Nemo to Dory. Nemo has great animation, but this one has stunning animation to the background of the settings and all that, and that's just amazing. The voice talents, there's nobody else but Ellen who could voice Dory. She's perfect for the role, and she's just amazing, you know, just like she was in the first movie. She's just amazing. He's playing with some bag down there. Anyways, having one of the side characters play the main character in their own movie, we basically got that with Minions last year. It didn't after watching it a few times, it didn't really work out that much with Minions. But looking at Dory, it makes it look simple, as you could actually make one of the side characters be the main character for their own movie. And that's basically Finding Dory right there. Definitely. The story and the script are amazing. The folks at Pixar look like they were actually trying to make this better than Nemo. Unfortunately, it wasn't as amazing as Nemo. And talking about Nemo, it doesn't capture the same heart as Nemo did, because the idea of Nemo getting lost in the first movie, that's what gave the first movie a lot of heart. And this movie, looking for her parents, I mean, it does have heart, but not as much as Nemo, in my opinion. But the flashback scenes are amazing in this movie, and they're just gorgeous to look at. Again, the voice talents are just amazing for this movie, and the new kid who plays Nemo, of course, is not the original actor who played Nemo in the first movie, because he got older. But he does a really good job once again being a person to capture Nemo. And yeah, that's just about it for the voice acting. As for a sequel, this is a very good sequel to the first movie, even though I did mention that it's not as good as Finding Nemo. I definitely did love this movie much. This is my 4th favorite Pixar movie, of course, behind Nemo, Monsters Inc., and Inside Out, which I still think it's better than every other Pixar movie, Inside Out. And it's just everything about this movie I basically did love. The only thing that really towards the ending of the movie, it does get a little bit kind of confusing. You're like, they should have stopped the story here, and it kind of gets irritating at times. If you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. It gets kind of irritating. Just you think they're about to end, but something else happens. But you know, it's still what makes this movie Dory, Finding Dory. And that's basically my only main problem with this movie that I really have with this movie. The short film Piper that they show before this movie is also a very beautiful and talented short film. It has fantastic animation. And I'm just going to say that Piper is one of those better Pixar shorts. Lava, which they showed before Inside Out last year, was kind of a embarrassment to Pixar for the Pixar short films, but I did like this one better, and it definitely also had a lot of heart. And now let's get on to the 3D. So it was both me and my friend who were gonna watch this movie, and we did watch it together, and we both agreed that we're gonna see it in 3D because we thought that there were gonna be a lot of fish popping at you in 3D. When you think of 3D, you think that a lot of characters or a lot of objects are going to be popping at you. Unfortunately, Dory isn't that kind of 3D movie. It does have some pop-out moments. For example, when Dory gets launched out of air, she gets launched right at you, and that's really good 3D, but that only happens about 4 to 5 times in the movie. Also, another scene involving a truck basically flipping over with a bunch of fish in slow motion. That's pretty cool in 3D. But what makes this movie kind of good in 3D is the depth to the 3D in this movie. There are times where you actually feel you are in water with Nemo, Marlin, and Dory, and that's what really makes this kind of worth it to check it out in 3D. Overall, if you're one of those people who love 3D only because you think that things are going to pop at you, again, that only happens 4 to 5 times in this movie, and this movie really isn't for you in 3D. But if you're just one of those people who are whatever, you don't care whether they pop too much 3D at you, this movie has a lot of depth to offer. Sometimes you feel like you're actually in water with Dory, Marlin, and Nemo, and that's what really depth 3D is all about. So if you really like depth 3D, then definitely check this out in 3D. But if you only want to pop out, then this is definitely not one of those 3D movies where objects fly right at you. But also, if you have a Dolby Atmos or AMC Prime theater near you, then I'm sure it will be worth checking out that instead in 3D. I regret checking this movie out in 3D instead of AMC Prime, which has some recliners and big sound system. But overall, I did not regret it that much. The 3D was fine in this movie. So, suggestion, if you're going to pay $15 or more for the 3D version, definitely don't pay that much for 3D. But for example, my ticket was $12.49. I think that's just about a fair price to watch in 3D for. So if you're going to pay $15 or more for 3D, then forget it. But if you're going to pay something like I did, $12.49, I guess it's worth it. So 3D in Finding Dory is only worth if you have the extra money. But the actual movie itself gets a 9.8 out of 10 or an A+. So there you go, guys. Finding Dory, not as good as Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is still a 10 out of 10 for me, but definitely go check this out this weekend. It's amazing, it's funny, it's brilliant. Anyways, I'll see you guys for my next movie day.
Is that all you got?
Independence Day Resurgence. Rated PG-13.